Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Holman here with your daily announcements. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Looks like today's going to be a very sunny day, and it's going to be a little bit warmer. Tomorrow it looks like it's going to be really sunny and warm. That's exciting. Nice day for a Friday. Today's lunch choices are hot dog with baked beans and apple crisp, or you can choose a turkey and cheese sandwich. If you're planning for breakfast tomorrow, there will be a bagel bar with fruit. Today's read aloud is Mrs. Lingo doing Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. But before we do that, we want to do our school rules. Please repeat after me. I promise to A. Act safely. B. Be a friend. C. Choose manners. And D. Do my best. There are no birthdays to celebrate today, boys and girls. We hope you have a fantastic day of learning and enjoy the story.
Good morning. I'd like to share this book with you called Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree, written by Robert Barry. Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree came by special delivery. Full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd waited for. A magnificent tree! Splendid, he cried. Please, sir, won't you carry it inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here. But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willoughby made a terrible face. The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh, good heavens, he gasped. Something must go. Baxter the butler was called on in haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. That's great, Mr. Willoughby cried with glee. Now we can start to trim my tree. When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, I know just who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree. So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willoughby's upstairs maid. Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have trimmed it later tonight? But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid, will have to be cut, sighed Miss Adelaide. And so with scissors, sharp and strong, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in back of the house to be thrown away. That little treetop caught the eye of Tim the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried it right home straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa la la, surprise, surprise. His wife could not believe her eyes. But our house, she said, is so snug and small, I do not believe we need it all. And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut the top off and threw it out. Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day? I'll take it home, that's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I've a present for you. Isn't it a pretty tree? Yawned Mama Bear quite drowsily. Before we go to sleep this year, let's have a Christmas party, dear. But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, That tree won't hold a star. Barnaby said, Let's cut out a hunk off the bottom here at the trunk. But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the treetop off instead. Jolly by golly, Barnaby said with a kick. Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and honey rings, some berries and tinsel and popcorn on strings. Mama said, Trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we don't need anymore. I'll put it just outside the door. Wonder who's going to get it next. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, opened his sack, and stuffed it in. He scampered home, jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. It's even better than mincemeat pie, said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. There, my dear, now don't you worry. I'll fix this tree top in a hurry. Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seems, he thought, most certainly, Santa left that for my family. Look, he cried, see the tree I found? With that, he called his family around. Then there was a merrymaking, rollicking, frolicking, carrot shaking, celebration around the tree. All were happy as rabbits can be. Benjamin Rabbit, with his very own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. Now let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook. But right away the children cried, Look, it's leaning off to one side. It's too tall, that's all, said Mrs. Rabbit. And as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw it away. Then Mistletoe Mouse just happened to see that tiny tip of a Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. It's just the right size, said Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willoughby? Look at that. They're right back in the house next to Mr. Willoughby. Have a great day, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree.